Hi, I'm Fred Satilli. Usually, I like to speak extemporaneously, but because I have so much respect for this group and they worked so hard to do this, I wanted to actually write out my introduction and read it properly, just to make sure that I didn't leave anything out or didn't misspeak anything, which, as you know, I commonly do. So, we're going to talk about the growing unrest in our country. And the reason for this is the taking away of power from the people and granting it to bureaucrats. Bureaucrats are unelected people such as CIA, FBI, and IRS agents. Another is the court system with its self-serving clerks and judges. There are many other overstepping controllers. School board members come immediately to mind. It should be known that courts are for-profit organizations in almost all cases. They have a corporate Dun& Bradstreet number that's not necessarily easy to find. You may want to confirm that your court is actually your court. The Stanley Moss Courthouse, where this takes place, has a Dun & Bradstreet number of 054724392. And when we went to get this number, our friends were very thorough, and they gave us the number of the Judicial Council of California. Now, this isn't a court, but these are the people who advise, we'll call it advise the courts. So the Judicial Council of California's corporate number, it's a for-profit corporation. Their corporate number is 364-521526. These numbers were provided to us by Coloma and Associates, and we certainly do thank them for their diligent work. When the people assembled on the steps of the Stanley Moss Courthouse, they were politely asked to move from the third tier of steps down to the first. One jackass in the crowd made a big issue that it was his courthouse and he would stand where he wanted. He couldn't have been more wrong. In Los Angeles County, there are at least 4 groups of people that I know of who are attempting to assemble to challenge the authority of not the government, but the bureaucrats who control the people. Remember, elected officials can be voted out. That is an American's responsibility. Bureaucrats, you're stuck with. To return our current rogue government to the republic that would lawfully protect our God-given rights, people in each county of each state are assembling. Remember, assembly is a constitutionally protected right. It's the First Amendment right, the right to assemble. Right? These assemblies are happening in all 50 states. On April 5th at noon, this group of people who are American state nationals assembled to make a declaration. When they have made this declaration on 3 consecutive weeks during a time when the county council is in session and jump through whatever other bureaucratic hoops there are, their declaration will create recognition of them as a recognized assembly. Hopefully, this conglomeration of these like-minded assemblies will unify enough to form grand juries that will hold rogue tyrant individuals and cartels to accountability. Many sheriffs and other peace officers would like to have freedom from the criminal cartels that pay them. These groups assemble to empower them to do the job they swear an oath to perform. As we help them, they will recognize that the new sheriff in town can be them, themselves. They will then be confident that they can become law enforcement officers that they have always dreamed to be, and not thugs of a criminal cartel selling their souls for their pay and pension. What follows is the preamble to a much larger document. These declarations may vary from county to county, but are all the same in intent. You're going to notice that the opening is repeated 3 times. There is a rule of threes. Once something is stated 3 times, If the listener does not regard the message, that person is in dishonor. Dishonorable people have no power in court. This is an important thing to remember. Here is the Declaration's preamble.
Notice to the principal is notice to the agent, and notice to the agent is notice to the principal, and notice to the principal is notice to the agent, and notice to the agent is notice to the principal. Notice to the principal is notice to the agent, and notice to the agent is notice to the principal. Los Angeles County Settlement Covenant Preamble. We, the sovereign people living on the land on Los Angeles County, California, a free and independent nation state, in order to live together in harmony under the Almighty Creator in common law, to facilitate the avoidance of disputes, to facilitate the quick settlement of disputes which might arise, to provide for organized defense of life, liberty, and private property, to protect and administer public property for the benefit of the inhabitants, and to make certain limited agreements with other settlements of sovereign people for mutual benefit, ordain common accord, and recognize the following notice.
Date of first reading, Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. Date of second reading, Tuesday, April 12th of 2022. Location of reading, Stanley Mosque Courthouse, 111 North Hill Street, Los Angeles, California. Original assembly and library of records on January 24th, 2021. Comes now, inhabitants of California Nation on Los Angeles County by absolute writ of habeas corpus and with absolute resolve, hereby rebuke all corporate authority and decree this county settlement. Los Angeles County Settlement Covenant, and in harmony with all the 58 counties on California, by the authority of the unanimous Declaration of Independence, circa 1776, and the Constitution for the United States for America, in particular, the Bill of Rights, circa 1787 to 1791, and affirmed by the California Constitution as stated in Article 1, circa 1849.
We find Article 1, with Almighty God granting us free will and dominion, by unanimous decree, the local people in peaceable, lawful assembly, in settlement covenant on California, a free and independent nation, a member of free and independent nations, with other free and independent nations, all known as republics for the United States for America.
That was this group's first step towards moving the government back to a government of the people. State national groups such as this, and other groups like Bonds for the Win or the Election Integrity Project, and so many more, should be sought out and joined. Reduced and accountable government is possible, so get involved. I always say, if it's to be, it begins with thee.